Hello and welcome to another update video about the NASDAQ. Very interesting at the moment. The NASDAQ as well as the SPX, they are both providing very interesting structures. Maybe a larger pullback has begun. We talked about that in the last few days. Also over the weekend, I provided an analysis and highlighted that this week could start with a bounce from the orange support region provided, and that I'd be watching to see if there can be a corrective rally into the provided resistance area that I shared with you in the last video. Well, that has happened today. So let's talk about the structures that we can see on the NASDAQ chart. First of all, let's talk about the two scenarios that I have on the NASDAQ chart. They are fairly similar to the SPX, slightly different, but fairly similar. So in the white count, that is the one that I still prefer at the moment. I'm dealing here with a larger A, B, C structure in which we could see, so first of all, this scenario suggests that an A wave top formed in December. So basically a first top in a larger ABC structure that is all part of an ending diagonal that started in October 22. And it could send us to 18,000, 19,000, over the coming months, maybe in the first 6 months of 2024. However, this scenario also suggests that a B wave pullback has started, most recently end of December, which is now unfolding and could send us overall into the yellow support region here between 14,739 and 15,933. I highlighted to you also the second scenario, or the more directly bullish scenario. They are both likely scenarios that should be considered. And the yellow count is just a different way of labeling it as an ABC structure. And the C wave is still unfolding. And we already confirmed the 1-2 setup, and the third wave is next. Yeah, and could take us to 18,413, for example, next. Yeah, that would be one of the common targets. Let's say 18,184 plus. To keep this scenario alive, or actually to keep this scenario alive, the value shouldn't break below 16,028. And to confirm it further, we'd like to see a convincing break above resistance at 16,983. Because I shared with you in the last update the resistance level here for the white count. What did we say in the last video? In the last video, we were already starting the pullback, and I highlighted to you, okay, we've got here the support area for the for the yellow count. In the yellow count, we should see basically a screaming rally, yeah, and should break above resistance, should break above the recent high, get towards that target area up there that I just shared with you. However, also in the white count, we should see a corrective rally at least. So in both scenarios, I was watching for at least a corrective rally this week. We've seen a bounce from the area. And well, the main question is now, is it corrective or is it impulsive? And impulsive would indicate a third wave. Corrective would indicate here the white count. Okay, so first of all, we need to consider that B waves can even overshoot. This is only the standard resistance area. Yep, I see 3 waves up so far, not 5. Once I see 5 waves up, ideally above resistance, followed by a corrective pullback, it's probably yellow. Okay, because the yellow count, the third wave, is also a 5-wave move. So once we see 5 waves up here, this is likely wave 1 of 3. Then we get a pullback in wave 2 of 3. That would be clear confirmation of yellow. Then we get a 3 of 3 and so on, However, if this stays a 3-wave move, then this is likely just wave 2. Now it's likely, I put these as placeholder in the last video. It would be like this. The thing is that C wave is already quite extended and it's running out of space, this whole thing. So ideally, the B wave tops at some point here in the next few days. The SPX is also maxing out to a degree resistance. So it might be that the yellow count is gonna, get a comeback or work out. But key is to understand that we're just watching what the price is doing. So if the price is forming 5 waves up and breaks above that resistance at 16,983, that would strongly suggest yellow is in play. And the pullback, corrective pullback, could be a setup for a third of a third wave rally. Whereas from here, if we see any weakness in the coming days or so, probably tomorrow, we'll see, then we should turn down and the C wave could start. Clue that the C wave has started would be a 5-wave move down. The C wave is also a 5-wave move. So the first wave of that 5-wave, the first wave of the C wave, yeah, would be a 5-wave move. And if we can identify that, they would confirm that the white count is playing out, especially if that breaks below 16,335. So in summary, that bounce that we were looking for from the support region, from this basically a setup from this area worked out. Now I'm simply watching if we get a reaction here. In both scenarios, we expected upside. That's quite a good situation because, you know, if the B wave happens, you can take some profits. If the third wave happens, even better, you know, taking some partial profits, moving up the stop loss is the way to play this typically. And if we come down again, then this will be the next opportunity area where a long-term, let's say a medium-term low could form for a C wave rally towards the end of the year, or well, not the end of the year, towards the maybe the end of the second quarter or so. Okay, so just timing is very difficult, but at the moment, I don't assume that the overall top has already formed. I think we should see further increases in 2024. That's also what the SPX is telling me. The only question that I have at the moment is how deep is this pullback going to be? And while I don't have the crystal ball and I don't know, you know, the analysis gives us some very clear levels to watch against which we can, you know, if these get broken or not, will basically help us make that assessment. So if you ask me, at the moment, I'm still leaning towards the white count, but would change my view if the market gives me a 5-wave move up. As I always say, there's no reason to impose our view on the markets. The market can basically always tells us what's going on. We just need to be able to read it, understand it, and a 5-wave move up would be that indication that further extensions higher are very, very likely and have to be expected. Overall, both scenarios are bullish, which is a pretty good situation. But yeah, below 14,739, you know, there's always a level where we have to say, okay, if that level breaks, we are turning bearish and change our opinion. That would be a break below 14,739 because a B wave in this situation shouldn't really break below that level. So it's likely then something different. So likely then a long-term top has been established. But we're not there. We're far away from that level anyway. Okay, that's my update about the NASDAQ. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you're interested in daily updates about the S&P 500 as well as regular updates about stocks, then please check out the S&P 500 and stock service. I also cover the NASDAQ regularly when I don't make a public video. The NASDAQ isn't officially included there, but I do cover it when there's time. And so yeah, that is sort of unofficially included. So feel free to check it out. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.